the primary goal of this channel is to share videos with you that will teach you how to connect and build meaningful relationships with people. But there are certain habits that when you have them, it is almost impossible for that to happen. People tend to despise you. People tend to not want to be with you. That is why in this video, I'm going to share with you 6 habits that can make people dislike you. Habit number 1 is going into relationships or going into a relationship with a hidden agenda. I think it is annoying and off-putting when someone tries to be your friend and you can almost immediately tell they're onto something. Either they're trying to sell something to you or they're trying to make you do something for them. When you go into a relationship with a hidden agenda, people are going to know eventually. They're going to know what you're up to eventually, and they're going to despise you for that. I had someone come to me one time and try to be a friend, and he invited me to play golf with him. We went golfing, and I was excited. It was fun. But guess what? The very next day, he called me up and said he wanted to invite me to a seminar, that there's a product that he wanted me to see, that he thinks the product is a business that I'm going to like. I was all struck. I couldn't believe it because the very first day felt genuine, but he couldn't wait. He couldn't even wait 1 week, 1 month. The very next day, he tried to sell something to me. So my advice is that you try to go into a relationship with the genuine interest to connect with people. But if for any reason you want to sell something to someone, or you want them to do something for you, find a creative way to make your intention known from the very beginning so that people don't end up hating you or despising you. The second habit is not keeping to your words. This has to do with integrity. That is when your words and your actions are not in alignment. Or in other words, when you overpromise and underdeliver, such that there is a gap between what you say and what you actually do. There are 2 kinds of people that fall in this category. The first kind are those people who naturally or who by design fail to keep to their words. The second category are those people who somehow find themselves not keeping to their words because they do not know how to say no. And so they say yes to everybody, that at the end of the day, it becomes almost impossible for them to keep to their words. And I think it doesn't matter the category that you fall into. You need to understand that it's important for you to stay consistent with what you say and what you do, so that people tend to respect your words, so that when you tell someone that you're going to do something, they believe you and they know that you're going to do it. However, when you do not do that, people tend to despise you, people tend to not take you seriously, and people tend to just keep you at a distance. The third habit is treating other people with disrespect. This is one very quick way to get people to dislike you. When you treat people disrespectfully, you create a feeling of disgust and sometimes anger in whoever is with you at that time, or whoever is watching you treat someone else disrespectfully. And this is particularly true when the person you're treating disrespectfully is vulnerable, like someone who is elderly, like the disabled, or someone who is of a lower social class, or someone who is not as privileged as you are. When you do this, people immediately despise you. So you need to learn to treat people respectfully, or you stand a chance being hated. The fourth habit is when you get easily distracted. I'm sure you know someone, or you've met someone who is always distracted. They're never present in the moment. It's either they're on their phones typing or doing something on the phone, or you can tell from their facial expression and their body language that they're thinking of what to do next or where to go next. I think that is the huge turnoff. However, when this person is a family member or a spouse, you can't really do anything about it. But when it is someone you're trying to connect with, it is a turn off. You don't want to be with someone, you don't want to connect with someone who don't give you the attention, who is always distracted. And so if you are that person who is always distracted, it's important to understand that you have to be present in the moment to be able to make meaningful connection with people. Because if you're not, if you have that habitual tendency to be distracted, people despise you and they don't want to hang out with you. So the habit number 5 is when you are boastful. There are people who, when you have a conversation with them, from the very get-go, they start telling you about all these things they have, all these big things and all these achievements and accolades from the very beginning. Not in an innocent manner, but in an obviously boastful and prideful manner. Not that it is a bad thing to share your accomplishments. You've worked hard for them, but you need to allow it come up in a conversation naturally. But I would say there's an exception to this. If you are in a professional networking setting, professional networking environment, it's okay to begin a conversation with your professional accomplishments. And you have to do it in a way that doesn't belittle the person you're talking with, but in a way that is natural, in a way that is okay, that is natural in that kind of environment. And so learn to allow your accomplishments come up naturally in a conversation, or people might despise you or even don't want to come near you or be with you for that reason. So habit number 6 is when you are a habitual liar. Nobody likes a liar. Lying is one way to destroy your credibility and integrity. When you develop a reputation as someone who lies consistently, you lose the respect of people who are around you. I know someone who, when you have a meeting with him, he tells you he's already at the location when he's still at home. And so when you get to the location and you call him up, where are you? He tells you, I've been waiting here, I just stepped out to get something. And a lot of people notice that that is how he is. And a lot of people despise him. People don't want to be with him. People don't want to hang out with him. And so when you think about this, it reminds you of the need to be consistent with your words and also to tell the truth at all times. So it's important to not lie, to be truthful. So there you have it, the 6 habits that can make people dislike you. If you know anyone who you think this video is going to help, make sure you share it to friends and to family. And until next time, stay connected. With